Hi, I'm Victor. Welcome back to the Invest in Value channel, a channel where I focus on reviewing companies that you can buy at a great discount that are a value play. They generate great free cash flow. They have strong financials and are a long-term value investment that can really pay off. Today, I want to cover ROBLOX. This is an exciting gaming company. They like to call themselves an experience company. I'm a little old school, so I'm going to call them a gaming company. Before I jump into evaluating ROBLOX, please do me a giant favor and like my video. Please consider subscribing. And if you provide any feedback, I would greatly appreciate that. Now let's talk about ROBLOX. ROBLOX reminds me of YouTube and Facebook, two very valuable, properties online. And you're watching my video on YouTube right now. And let me tell you why I think ROBLOX is similar to YouTube and Facebook. So first, YouTube. So YouTube is really profitable because they don't have to create videos. They put up a platform that people around the world create videos, and then other people that are interested in those videos watch the videos. You can watch financial news like you're watching, financial analysis on this video. You can watch entertainment videos, funny videos, short videos, long videos. Even the big media companies put their content on Facebook. So Facebook gets to benefit from all these content creators creating all this, rich, valuable content, putting it on YouTube. Then YouTube advertises on their website. They get, I pay for the premium YouTube. I think it's $10 a month. So they get a lot of people to pay them to watch the content, ad free, and then they get to advertise. So they get to charge advertisers money for placing their ads on YouTube. So YouTube is just a great model. Facebook's similar, where Facebook is not creating the content, just the people that come and use Facebook. They create the engagement. A lot of people come to Facebook. Facebook then advertises and they make money. So it's a very profitable way for these two properties to be very, very valuable for that reason. ROBLOX is similar. They're creating a platform where, all these game developers or experience developers create these experiences that are really popular with kids. And I would say young adults, maybe some closet older people that are watching and checking out these experiences. So ROBLOX is not creating the content, not putting the time, energy, capital, taking the risk of whether a game's going to be good or bad. They're providing the platform. And then the general audience, determines, hey, is it good or bad? But ROBLOX tends to win because they don't have to take the risk of a game being good or bad, like an Activision might take a chance on a new game. So for that reason, I'm really excited about ROBLOX because I believe it could be a multi-bagger, a great, compounding investment for the future. Now, the concept to me is there that, hey, this is an exciting company. This is a younger company. They IPO'd just less than 2 years ago. So I'd like to review the financials and go over a complete review and give you a complete review of this exciting young company. Let's go over the financials now. All right, so let's take a look at ROBLOX financials. Let's start with the balance sheet. A couple of things on the balance sheet. I like to look at the cash balance, short-term investments, and so forth, because it shows, is this company, sitting on a lot of cash, and therefore their balance sheet's super strong. In this case, these definitely are. They actually have cash of $3 billion. Their total liabilities are roughly $4 billion. So in a little more than a year, they could pay off all their liabilities with the cash they have on hand. Plus, they're generating free cash flow, which I'll get to in a minute. So to me, this is a strong company generating a lot of great cash, and it's got a strong balance sheet. So the revenue is growing just incredibly. So keep in mind, this company benefited greatly from COVID, the shutdowns around COVID and so forth. Kids were staying home, doing school online and not having a lot of, a lot of activities where they came in close contact with other people. So they were playing a lot of video games. So their 2020 year was really, they had a big tailwind. So from 2019 to 2020, yeah, they grew, COVID helped them, but look at the growth from 2020 to 2021, just phenomenal. They had more than $1 billion of revenue on top of 900 million. So they more than doubled the company in the year after COVID. So that's a great sign. That means the adoption rate's there. The company's grown like a weed, and they're doing really well. So let's look at cash flow now. So it's great that you're growing. It's great that people love your games, but are you giving me the cash that I'd love to have? And in this case, they certainly are. They generated from operations $659 million from operations in 2021. And then they had investments in plant, property, and equipment of 93 million. So just great free cash flow. I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $580 million of free cash flow. And that was great. So this is a high growth company, exciting space they're operating in. It's the whole metaverse. Hey, people are going to be doing more things online. I'm a big believer in that. We're doing something online now that proves that. And they're generating free cash flow. That's phenomenal. I'd like to point out a couple of things that drive that free cash flow, and I think are reasons, for to be, from my point of view, more excited about the company. First is the way that ROBLOX monetizes their experiences is, users buy ROBLOX, which is kind of like going to Starbucks and you buy a gift card and you preload your gift card with $100. Starbucks has your $100. You haven't spent it yet on coffee, but over time you spend it on coffee. Starbucks gets to recognize that revenue, but when you first give them your $100, they recognize it as cash. But as you use it, they recognize it as revenue, and they are not receiving cash later on. In this case here, ROBLOX is getting money from its users and putting it on their balance sheet. What I like about this is it's their user community that is almost investing in the company, providing cash and then ROBLOX can then fund their development. They can fund their company. They can operate. They can have good cash balances, and these amounts are huge. In 2020, almost $1 billion of cash was spent on these ROBLOX. So the company, over the course of 2 years, almost $2 billion of user currency coming into play. So just a great monetization, format for ROBLOX. You think about like Web 3.0, right? Some of the concepts I've heard is, people will participate in experiences, and then the monetization will be paid with digital currencies, cryptocurrencies. ROBLOX is there. This ROBLOX concept, that's a digital currency. So these guys are ahead of the curve, and that's why I'm excited about this company. So the space is growing, the company's growing, they are generating free cash flow, they have a really strong balance sheet. So that's great stuff. All right, now let's take a look at the most recent earnings release from ROBLOX. So this is for the full year 2021, released on February 15th. And a couple things to point out: revenue grew 108% year over year, just phenomenal growth, awesome growth. Q4 to Q4 of the most current year also grew at a substantial rate. Free cash flow was there, just a really, really good, earnings release. Their future guidance, they don't provide much, but what they do is they provide key metrics each month of, how much revenue they're able to recognize. In the case of January, they recognized somewhere between 64 and 66% Daily average users, it went up 32%, so that's really good to see. I think this is a new, generation company, so it's hard to, really pin down, metrics. It's not a Procter and Gamble that's been around for 100 years. It's a company that's been around less than 2 years. They went public not too long ago. So this is a company that you got to really understand their business, make sure it's healthy, and then make your investment decision. I've decided to invest. I think this could be a multi-bagger for me. They're operating well. Kids love the platform, and it's showing up in their latest earnings release. When we look at February, key metrics again, February showing that the daily active users, up 28% year over year. Yeah, that's phenomenal. That's great. And engagement is also up. So more kids are playing it, it's being used, and so forth. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing on their earnings releases. All right, now let's take a look at where the stock's been trading over the last couple of years. As mentioned, this company IPO'd in 2021. It was an exciting IPO. It came onto the scene and it rose, quite a bit in the first couple of months, but then it kind of went sideways. And then toward the end of 2021, it just took off like a rocket ship. I think that's when a lot of really excitement around metaverses, started hitting the airwaves, and investors really probably overreacted into ROBLOX and really made the stock price really jump up. And ever since then, the stock's just been in a decline. And to me, I love seeing, to some people it's bad news, to some people it's good news. To me, I love seeing a valuable company go down in value, because it just means I'm getting it at a discount, assuming the company's healthy, assuming the company's strong, assuming the company has a great game plan and a business plan going forward. This is a great opportunity to buy a great company at a discount. A couple of things I'll point out. The market cap for this company is $27 billion. Activision was just acquired by Microsoft at a higher, market cap than this. I believe Activision is like from my generation. Activision started in the consoles way back when, and really their whole business is around, a console, single user concept, and they've, over time tried to, bridge over to the new way that kids want to play games. But ROBLOX is the real deal. It's the new generation. It's going to be huge, and I think it's going to really replace Activision as well as other companies that have old school games. They don't have a price to earnings ratio just yet. They're a high growth company generating free cash flow, but they don't have a price to earnings ratio just yet. All right, now let's take a look at the value of ROBLOX. I ran all the ROBLOX fundamentals through my intrinsic value model, and here's what I came up with. So using a discounted rate of 7%, again, they have a nice, strong balance sheet, still kind of using a higher discount rate just on the fact that they're a young company. Historically, they've grown their free cash flow by 152%, just phenomenal over the last 4 years. Revenue's been growing at 80% if you look at the last 4 years, again, phenomenal. And I took, what I believe is a conservative revenue growth rate of 35%. Could be higher, but I think 35% is very achievable for this young company. And then the long-term growth after the first 5 years is 15%. Their free cash flow for the most recently closed year was $566 million, and I took that as the beginning point for free cash flow. Using these metrics in my model, I came up with an intrinsic value of $66 billion is the value of this company. They're trading with a market cap of $27 billion, so it provides a substantial discount on this stock price currently. I believe that the intrinsic value per share currently is $113 per share. I believe it could rise up to that level. And if they perform even better than expected, it's even higher than that. Their current stock price is being traded at $46 per share. So you're getting it at a substantial discount. My numbers are conservative, And I believe this is going to be a multi-bagger for me over the next 5 to 10 years. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to get your feedback, but this is what I'm seeing on the fundamentals and my intrinsic value calculation of ROBLOX. All right, so let me do a quick recap of ROBLOX. I want to talk about their performance that I've seen, the guidance that they've provided, and then my outlook on 2022 and beyond for this company. First, the performance has been excellent. Their growth year over year, 108%. And again, it was the year after COVID. So really impressed by the level of growth that they've had. Their free cash flow is very healthy at 566 million. It's for a high growth company, a young company like they are, that's really rare. So very interested in continuing to buy into this company. I measured over the last 4 years their free cash flow growth, 152%. Again, rare. Cash balance, $3 billion, making their balance sheet very strong since they can pay 75% of their liabilities immediately. So guidance for 2022, they don't provide a lot of scripted guidance like other companies do. What they do is provide monthly metrics of what they're seeing with their daily active users and engagement and so forth. And the numbers you're seeing are quite good. In January, they saw that daily active users went up 32%, engagement went up 26%. They believe revenue is going to increase basically when they compare to the prior year. February, again, daily active users went up 28%, engagement 21%. So those are good things to see. So if those numbers hold up, I think the first quarter, once you get to that earnings call, I think they're going to have positive news to report. And again, one of the big metrics that is impressive is 55 million users log in daily and use ROBLOX. You think about that, holy smokes, that's a lot of users. So they're going to continue to grow internationally and make that number even higher. My outlook on the stock and the company, as mentioned, I'm an owner of ROBLOX, and I'm going to continue to buy into ROBLOX. I believe that they're going to grow 35 to 50% per year over the next 5 years. After their first 5 years, growth is going to slow down, maybe to the 15% rate. And that's what I used in my model. I believe that ROBLOX is a lot like YouTube and Facebook. So those businesses are similar in the way they provide platforms and then benefit from providing those platforms. Everybody wins in this model. The content creators, they don't have to build all the infrastructure. They could just partner with ROBLOX. The customer, the end customer that pays their ROBLOX, they win because they have a variety of titles to choose from. And ROBLOX wins because they get to scale up their business and partner with all these content creators. And stockholders win because if they create the next YouTube or Facebook, look out, the valuation of this company is just going to go through the roof. I believe this is one of my multi-bagger opportunities that I have in my portfolio. I'll continue to buy into it. And I think in 10 years, when we look back, you'll really see that the story of ROBLOX was that they created an awesome platform that really grew. They monetized it well, and they'll either be acquired by a big, alpha technology company like a Google, a Facebook, that type of size company, or they will be a large standalone company like Activision was, and they just got acquired for 63 billion or more from Microsoft. So that'd be a great exit strategy for this company. That is a possibility in the future. So thank you so much for watching my video. Really appreciate your time. Please like my video. Please provide comments. I'll read every single comment to help improve the channel. This is a new channel that I've created, and your feedback would be really valuable. Again, thank you very much, and good luck investing in 2022.